Other house in New York City. Checking up on the wider movement. Actually very happy to be back in the Midwest because I got my start at the Des Moines Catholic Worker. Gave a shout out to Mike Sprong from South Dakota because he's one of the reasons I stayed in the Catholic Worker. Happened to be the Des Moines Catholic Worker, and it's fantastic to see him. And Mark Rogness, who also has a long history at the Des Moines Worker. Kathy Green from the New York Catholic Worker is also with me. So for those of you who might like to know, I think the New York community is thriving. I should mention, as I was saying to someone else here in conversation, that there is still this sort of living memory of Dorothy Day. There are people who lived and worked side by side with her, but it's really fragile now. It's disappearing. And I would say, like from the past, we've had, it's been very enriching. It's a lively community. We actually have a functional farm due to the work of Tommy Cornell, who was the son of Tom Cornell, who also lived at that farm, who's been at the Catholic Worker since the 1950s. And I actually think, a lot of the life of the community, people may know, I'll have maybe some chance to talk about it later, the Witness Against Torture group, and having gone down to Cuba, and that level of resistance that continues to exist at the New York worker community. And maybe certainly another portion of the life, or if people want to feed off something, I think some of you have already been feeding off the writings that Kathy Green has done working with Kathy Kelly, who's seated next to her. So I do think that there's a good report back from New York in terms of having a very healthy community with a lot of people who've been around for a lot of years and have stuck with it. So, hello, Kathy.
Well, I just am so delighted to be here. I haven't done this like a road trip. And then, we don't do this like relax and I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like the nature, just the story. I'm not undercover, but I have a band. And I have many greetings to take back from all of you, and many greetings to Brain. And the stories, it's just a delight to hear. I've heard so many stories that are heartbreaking. So it's just very healing, too, to hear stories of long history that years of frustration. So it's just so nice. Thank you. I'm crashing this party. But I also just want to take this one little opportunity. I mean, I don't know how often we'll come together in this larger assembly, but it's something that we've talked about, Kathy and I, and done to a certain extent. If any of your community needs offer hospitality to children and get out to the country, or families for that matter, we'd just like to extend that possibility. And because I think we also had something very
Catholic Worker, it's up in Duluth, Minnesota. We have a decent sized group here. Travis, Michael, hanger on. Alex, or Greg, not Alex.
I'm Emily. I'm Sadie.
Ellie.
And our community has 3 houses within about a block of each other. In Duluth, the house that I live in, the house that all 3 of us live in, is Dorothy Day House. We do hospitality to single men, usually about 6 men. We also have a women and family house called Olive Branch, just down the street. These ladies, Sadie, the center, she's from our house. The other 2 ladies live in that house. And then we have a 3rd house that's sort of in transition right now, and we're working out what we're going to do with that. Bike cave. We also run a community bike shop out of the house. And it's actually turned into a pretty big project. There's a lot of traffic through the house because of that. It gets a lot of people introduced to the Catholic Worker through our bike shop.
Did anybody ride from Duluth this time?
All downhill from the north.
Alright. I'm Patrick, and I'm from the Kansas City Catholic Burger. But everyone's from, I guess, Holy Family or Charity Brooks.